𝘁𝗵𝗫 is one of YouTube's most popular creators. You probably won't have heard of him because I think my audience demographic at no point crosses over with his, but he is huge amongst preteens, securing between 10 and 20 million views per video. This 58-year-old dude has become known for his viral stunts featuring dancers and gymnasts doing acrobatic challenges, and more recently, videos centered around his 15-year-old daughter, 𝘁𝗵𝗁. Jordan started out as a dance photographer and was pretty successful outside of YouTube in his own right as a photographer, until he learned that he could find even more success by filming children doing the splits and putting it online. Many of the videos that have made him the viral hit that he is today focus on young girls performing extreme flexibility challenges, often in revealing dance outfits in public spaces. And it's not just the dance challenge videos that are the problem here. He has since morphed into bringing his own children into his videos, and though the channel is still technically called 𝘁𝗵𝗫, it's pretty much exclusively just about his teenage daughter salish at this point, as he orchestrates her crushes, her first kiss, a whole fake YouTube relationship, and continues to exploit her entire childhood for views.
Today, my daughter Salish reacts to every video, shipping her with her best friend Nadal.
This story is an interesting one. It's not like other kids' channels like 𝗵𝗶𝗸𝗲, where stage mums become hell-bent on making their kids stars so that they can live vicariously through them and make their child the sole income earner. Instead, this is a photographer who was doing pretty well as a photographer. He already had a huge income, a huge audience, and his children were nothing to do with it. But to be honest, even before his daughter got involved, his content was on the path to getting super weird. So let's analyze the strange shift of 𝘁𝗵𝗫 from acclaimed photographer to exploitative YouTube dad.
A lot of people have asked me how you get exhibited in a gallery or museum, and right now I have 2 exhibitions running simultaneously, so I'm going to talk about 5 ways to make that happen. Hello everyone, I am with the squad today. We are doing a how far can you split challenge. This is gonna, actually I can't do this. Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
𝘁𝗵𝗫 started out as a regular photographer. The first video on his channel is from February 2010 and is an ad for his headshot photography, so actors could find him and see examples of his work online. After that, he used the channel to document the behind the scenes of his photography book, Dancers Among Us, which was a book of photos of mostly adult dancers in public spaces. This established him as a dance photographer, and pretty soon he was collaborating with famous dancers around the world. But as time went on, his focus began to shift away from adult dancers and more towards young performers, specifically the young girls from the TV show Dance Mums.
Hello everyone. The last to leave this pool wins an awesome 𝘀cie prize. Today's special guests, together again, Dance Mom superstars Lily and Ellie.
It was this connection to Dance Mums that seemed to lead him down the slippery slope of exploitative content. What were once creative photos of adult dancers quickly turned into a money-making opportunity when he realized that making videos with child stars could generate much more revenue. And so he found a formula for success. He took a famous young dancer or TikTok star, made them go in a public space, and would do these 10-minute challenges running around a city, usually the middle of New York, and making these dancers do crazy poses and contortions in public spaces whilst he took photos of them. The goal with these videos seemed to be to take photos until they got told to get out of wherever they were, and being kicked out by the security guards was all part of the video, and videos with titles like 𝘁𝗵𝗫𝗲 making Charli D'Amelio uncomfortable for 3 minutes started appearing online.
I want you to go on top of this bench right here and do TikTok, okay? Okay. Go. Can you?
Yeah.
Not only was he putting young dancers in potentially unsafe situations, but also these minimum wage workers were just trying to get through the day and were the ones that were having to deal with him and kick him out of whatever he was crashing. Not to mention these young dancers were often having to run around big cities in revealing dance outfits and were being forced to make these poses in public spaces, which many of the dancers were visibly uncomfortable doing. In one video, a drunk guy outside of McDonald's fully pushes 𝘁𝗵𝗫𝗲 and calls him out for taking pictures of these kids.
Oh, you got your shot? How does the little kid look?
It may not be the best way to go about it, and this guy is clearly drunk, but he's also disturbed by seeing kids being photographed like this and felt compelled to disrupt it, which makes sense given that all he's seeing is a much older guy taking photos of young kids in dance outfits in the middle of McDonald's. Jordan's insistence on filming young girls in these poses with exaggerated close-ups have always made many viewers uncomfortable, particularly when you think about who the YouTube algorithm might be pushing these videos out to. But Jordan's always posed as a photographer and therefore an artist, and these children are just the talent. They were dancers wearing dance outfits and doing dance moves, and he was simply the photographer. In his eyes, it was an art form, and the viral success of his behind-the-scenes videos were just a perk. The dancers got to promote themselves, he got to gain traction as a photographer and a YouTuber, and the odd critic saying it was inappropriate wasn't enough to stop him from doing it. He wasn't the one who started exploiting these kids for money after all. Their parents had already put them in the spotlight. He was just collaborating with them. For years, these dance challenge videos were consistently reaching millions of views, but that wasn't enough for Jordan. Now, I just want to take a moment to thank 𝘁𝗀 for sponsoring this video and helping me make this kind of content. When I make videos talking about these topics, the people that I talk about will often flag the videos as being controversial, and therefore I get demonetized. This is, of course, understandable. It's concerning content, and I'm not at all complaining about this, but doing this is now my full-time job, so I would not be able to bring light to these topics without the help of a sponsor. So I'm very grateful to be able to pair with 𝘁𝗀 to help promote their online safety tools. Because did you know that huge companies with poor security are getting hacked every day, and your personal information is being sold on the dark web so that spammers, scammers, and identity thieves can target your personal information, and they are facing zero repercussions for it. Right now, anyone can go to the dark web and buy your personal information for a few bucks. It's completely legal, and every day companies that have your information are getting hacked and leaking your data onto the dark web. So how do we stop our precious information from being sold on the internet? That is where 𝘁𝗀 comes in. 𝘁𝗀 does all the hard work for you. They find data brokers selling your info and they remove it. They also monitor the dark web and instantly alert you if your personal data has been leaked. They even throw in a VPN, antivirus, and password manager all in one app. It's really a win-win, and I love working with these guys and getting to give my viewers the gift of online safety. So if you click the link in my description, you can head to 𝘁𝗀.com/UncleHerman and get a 14-day free trial to see for yourself how much of your personal data is already out there and start getting 𝘁𝗀 to remove it. So thank you again to 𝘁𝗀 for sponsoring this video. Jordan Matters' content started to shift around 2019, 2 years after he started making videos for a living. It started slowly, with him sandwiching videos about his son Hudson in between his usual dance photography challenges, almost as a way to test the waters, and sure enough, these videos were hits. The videos in question were titled Instagram Controls My Son's First Date, which was then followed by My Son's First Kiss, Sweet, both of which featured Jordan orchestrating romantic situations with his then 13-year-old son. In the Instagram Controls My Son's First Date video that currently stands at over 17 million views, these kids tell the camera that they are going on their first ever date and that Hudson's dad's going to be taking photos of them doing it, which is an incredibly weird setup if you ask me.
And we're gonna let Instagram control what we do on our date tonight. We posted about it and got so many responses. And my dad is gonna take the photos!
Yes, I am. Okay.
I can't imagine 17 million people watching me as a 13-year-old going on a date orchestrated and filmed by my dad. It's unbelievable that this is normalized on YouTube. At one point in the video, Jordan asks this girl that his son is on a date with to stretch out his son so that he'll be able to lift his leg higher for a photo.
Like I'm about to whip my pants.
Can you stretch him out real quick?
Ow! No, actually, ow! Ow!
He asks a child to stretch out his child's son to orchestrate a suggestive situation for his YouTube views. This video as a whole is incredibly awkward to watch, with these poor kids obviously being forced to spend time together by their parents for clout and YouTube money. But off the back of this, Jordan continued making more and more videos with his son and this kid Rachel that he called his son's crush. 3 months after the first date video, Jordan posts a video titled My Son's First Kiss. As soon as you click on the video, there's a long slow-mo intro of these kids leaning in for a kiss in front of a group of people. It then cuts away to Jordan's video intro, which at the time is still marketing the channel as a behind-the-scenes dance photography channel. So then the kids go around town taking photos, doing little skits and pranks, and then they're dared to do the Times Square kiss.
Oh, yes, okay. That's an awesome photo. Now we gotta do an actual kiss, okay? Yeah!
A large crowd of kids gathers and eggs them on whilst Jordan takes their photo, and then in the end they say no and they don't do it. She's then made to kiss him on the cheek at the end, and it's framed as a blossoming love story. A year later, Jordan would then post pretty much the exact same video, this time raking in nearly 20 million views. In this one, Jordan manufactures a love triangle with his son and makes him recreate a kiss that he made other children do in the past, because nothing gets clicks like forcing your son to kiss his alleged crush for views. Eventually they don't kiss properly and they end up kissing with masks on. children. And it's become a theme that Jordan will often hugely tease these children kissing and then not actually have them do it in the video. But this is no longer dance photography. This is not tasteful. This is forcing your kids into uncomfortable situations for views and making millions of viewers invest in a romantic relationship that these kids are clearly not comfortable with. And Jordan makes them do all of these poses and kisses under the guise that he is taking a photo of them as a photographer, as if these photos are going anywhere. The photography element of it is just a way for Jordan to orchestrate these situations whilst avoiding blame, in my opinion. Because unlike 𝗹𝗶𝗸𝗲's mum, who orchestrates similar love stories for her daughter, Jordan makes you feel like they're doing it for the photo, not for the YouTube views, so it's fine. But that's just not true anymore. This is for YouTube views. The only thing these photos seem to be used for is Instagram posts to promote the video. The video is the main event now. It's no longer behind the scenes photography. The photos are barely part of it. In this other first kiss video that he referenced whilst he was making his son kiss his quote-unquote crush, he made 12-year-old dance mum star Eliana Walmsley kiss 13-year-old JT Church and framed it as their first kiss in a video that is clearly deeply uncomfortable for them whilst they're egged on by the adults involved. They frame it as if the adults gave them a choice to only do it if they wanted to, but we all know that this kiss was the crux of the video, and if these kids weren't being filmed, they would not have done it. So are you really giving them a true choice in the matter? I don't think so.
I'm gonna take one more photo. It's your guys' decision if you want to actually kiss or no. It's your call. One last time, see what happens.
Should we do it, Ellie? Just do it, just do it.
This is a father manufacturing relationships between 13-year-olds so that he can film it and put it online for tens of millions of people to see, many of which will be other 13-year-olds, but also let's not forget that a lot of Jordan's content unfortunately caters to a mature and predatory audience, and there are no laws or regulations in place protecting these children from these disgusting views. And it only gets worse as we look into his daughter's involvement in the channel. Eventually, Jordan's son Hudson was kind of phased out of the channel. He's now 19 years old and mainly makes videos on his own channel, Hudson Matter. So around 2021, Jordan's 12-year-old daughter, 𝘁𝗵𝘁, became the main focus of his videos, and this was the beginning of the end. 𝘁𝗵𝘁 has been featuring in Jordan's videos since she was very young, but she was rarely the focus. She would sometimes appear in challenges or do gymnastics with famous social media contortionists, but she was very much just the person that Jordan would put in the video alongside the star, rather than the star of the video herself. But then in 2021, that all changed, and 𝘁𝗵𝘁 became the sole focus of the channel. This shift started around the same time that Jordan began collaborating with 𝗹𝗶𝗸𝗲 and her squad. Now, I have a whole video about 𝗹𝗶 and her mother if you're not up to date on the situation. Her mother has an entire lawsuit against her for the ways in which she's been exploiting the kids in 𝗹𝗶's squad, and it almost seemed like as soon as Jordan saw 𝗹𝗶's numbers, he decided that he was going to make his daughter 𝘁𝗵𝘁 into the next 𝗹𝗶𝗸𝗲, and that is exactly what she became. The collaborations with 𝗹𝗶 and her squad were uncomfortable to say the least. There is a splits challenge where Jordan is using a leg stretcher to stretch children's legs on camera, and then stretching his own out in front of them. This is weird, this is uncomfortable, and this should not be on YouTube with millions of views. There is nothing protecting these kids from being exploited. Unlike his earlier videos, where at least the child performers had parents and agents overseeing their participation, not that that was ethical in the first place, but it wasn't him that made those kids stars, at least. When he now features his own kids, he is fully responsible for placing them in the limelight, in harm's way, and has recently given 𝘁𝗵𝘁 no real escape from the manufactured narratives he's creating for views. If she doesn't perform, her dad doesn't make the big bucks, and therefore she doesn't get to keep getting nice holidays and nice things, so she performs as her dad manufactures and monetizes her love life for YouTube views, the love life of a 15-year-old child. And many of Jordan's most popular videos now follow this narrative of 𝘁𝗵𝘁 having a crush and ongoing love story with 14-year-old YouTuber 𝗪𝗫. As soon as 𝗪𝗫 first appeared on the channel, Jordan was forcing a romance plot. He's using his own daughter's childhood as a plot point. He fake begged his audience not to ship 𝘁𝗵𝘁 with 𝗪𝗫, while simultaneously giving them a ship name and a hashtag for people to use as they inevitably started wanting to see more and more content with these preteens.
They are only 11 years old, so they are way too young to ship. Do not ship them. I don't want to see this hashtag anywhere.
Jordan has a playlist on his channel titled 𝗀𝗫liche that includes 25 videos that follow their forced romance. These videos include the two kids pretending to be 21 for a day, that has over 50 million views, multiple strange music videos with titles like The Truth About Their Relationship and The Truth About My Feelings, videos of them being egged on to kiss or pretend to kiss, lie detector videos where they're made to say that they have feelings for each other, prank videos where they're forced to say that they love each each other, and even videos where they react to fan edits of them as a couple. And the audience absolutely lap it up. If you search these two kids' names into YouTube, one of the top videos is an AI-generated video with nearly 100,000 views of these two children kissing. This is dystopian. The fact that we live in a world where you can rake in views for AI-generated videos of two teenagers kissing each other because so many people are desperate to see it, all because one of the kids' dads has orchestrated her whole relationship for money, it's crazy. This should not be normal. You should not be able to make money off of filming your child and putting it on YouTube, period. We've seen so many lawsuits, so many horror stories about family vloggers exploiting their children for views, and yet it is still normal. 𝘁𝗍liche is one of the highest earning YouTube stars on the platform, and she's 15 years old and being filmed by her own father. That just doesn't sit right with me. 𝘁𝗍liche's whole childhood at this point has been going out with her dad and doing whatever's going to get her the most views. Some of her earlier videos are gymnastics and contortion challenges, and although this content is not in itself sinister, the viewers that it attracts is. There is a subreddit entirely dedicated to people exchanging pictures of 𝘁𝗍liche. 468 people have subscribed to this particular one that I found. That might not seem like much, but that is still 468 people, likely older men, exchanging pictures of a 15-year-old. Another subreddit I found has 809 members and wholly consists of people setting up a Discord and offering to DM and exchange pictures with each other. And many of these comments use explicit language that clearly states that they are pedophiles. And the pictures in question that these disgusting people are trading with each other are likely screenshots and images that they've gotten from the Instagram and YouTube channel that 𝘁𝗍liche's dad runs and is profiting off of. 𝘀𝗵𝗁𝘁's channel is no longer about dance, nor about photography. It's about manufacturing children's relationships and orchestrating and capitalizing off of the parasocial relationship that his audience has formed with his 15-year-old daughter. And it's especially interesting to see that Jordan will often play the role of concerned or protective father. In the multiple videos where 𝘁𝗍liche is 21 for a day, he pretends he hates seeing her dress up older. But aren't you filming this all for your audience of 50 million people, some of which are literally people? If he really hated this, he would not be putting it on YouTube. All of his thumbnails are heavily edited photos of his daughter looking shocked or photoshopped onto a cheerleader's body. There's no way that he's doing this all with no knowledge of the ways in which he's compromising his daughter's childhood and her safety. 𝘀𝗵𝗁𝘁 might not be the first to monetize his children for content, but he represents a worrying trend, one that treats childhood as a commodity and where privacy is sacrificed for the sake of YouTube money. And the troubling thing is that many of 𝘁𝗍liche's audience are young people who want to be her. They dream of YouTube fame. They dream of a present dad who has riches beyond belief and a life where you don't have to go to school and instead get to film YouTube videos all day. And these kids have no idea that what they're watching is exploitative, that for a lot of people, school is so much better than having to work long hours for your dad. And so I can only hope that by making these videos that I will find some of that audience and make them realize that 𝘁𝗍liche's life is not a dream, it's a trap. I don't really know how to end this with a solid way to stop this behavior, because as long as YouTube keeps financially rewarding people like 𝘀𝗵𝗁𝘁, this will keep happening. And we are seeing more and more child stars like this turn to sites like OnlyFans as soon as they turn 18, and they are making millions off of the predatory audience that have been watching them and waiting for this since they were as young as 11 or 12 years old. We're seeing it now with 𝘁𝗻𝗄, who is going to turn 18 this August and is already teasing this kind of adult content and collaborating with other OF creators. And she, or at least her mother, knows that there is a huge audience of predators waiting to give her money for explicit content as soon as she turns 18. It's gross, it's dystopian, and we need to keep calling it out until we can get some kind of regulations in place that stop this being a financially viable thing for parents to do. The fact that I get demonetized because advertisers are not comfortable advertising on a video that talks about this, but they are more than comfortable monetizing the videos that I'm actually talking about, is extremely telling. And I don't really know how to fix that other than to just keep talking about it. So thank you for watching. I've been your Uncle Herman, and I will see you very soon in my next video.